The Alpha Podcast, with your hosts from LarsenPress.com, Adrian Larsen, and from TMNutrition.net, Tony Montgomery.
Hey, this is the Alpha Podcast. Today we got Tony and a special guest, and I'm going to give Tony the opportunity to introduce her.
What's going on, guys? This is Kaylie Klitzing. She is an IFBB Pro in the figure division, and she's also getting ready for her first powerlifting meet, and she is luckily my girlfriend, happily my girlfriend, probably the best thing that ever happened to her. She's also been featured in Power Magazine, which is Mark Bell's magazine, so make sure you guys check that out. It should be on newsstands now. And she's also competed in the physique division as well, and she was a cheerleader in high school. So go ahead and tell everyone a little bit more about yourself.
I am also a personal trainer. I work at McLaughlin 24-Hour Fitness. What else?
She's also ventured out into doing some nutrition stuff as well. So if you guys are interested in nutrition or personal training, make sure you go and check her out at the 24-Hour Fitness in Portland.
When did you get your pro card?
Last year, so it's July 2015 at USA's.
Awesome. And how far were you prepping to get your pro card, or how long have you been training in the bodybuilding world prior to getting your pro card?
I decided I wanted to do my first show, like right after New Year's 2013.
It's like a New Year's resolution.
I don't know.
New year, new me.
Yeah.
It just, like, I was interested in it, but then, like, that year, something just clicked in me, and I was like, all right, I want to do it.
I'm going to quit chewing, I'm going to quit drinking, and I'm going to do bodybuilding.
Exactly.
All right.
So it's been, like, a little over 2 years.
And now you're training for a powerlifting show coming up in April?
Yeah.
About 9 weeks out.
Yeah.
So she'll be doing that. And then after that, she's going to get ready to do her pro debut at the end of this year. So she has a lot of new stuff going on. Yeah.
Busy year.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
It'll be exciting, yeah.
So you've been doing bodybuilding training for, you said, 3 years now almost, or 2.5 years?
Something like that. Yeah.
And you already have your pro card?
I guess so, yeah.
So it must not be that hard then.
Did you wear board shorts?
Is that
No.
the division you're in?
No, I wore a bikini. It's definitely really hard. And I think I realized how hard it was prepping for my second and third show. And after that, I was like, okay, this is something I really want to do, and I want to succeed in it. So I knew I had to just be 100%. So when I start prep, it's kind of like everything else in my life, like, almost disappears.
It's good to know.
Well,
Yeah.
no.
Looking forward to that.
No,
All right.
I did a lot better when I prepped for USA's. It was a long and really hard prep, but I gave it my all, but then also, like, promised myself I wasn't going to miss out on anything else. So I went to all of my family functions, but just brought all my meals with me. I even would go out to the bars and clubs with my friends, and I would just have water and have my meal in my purse and go kind of, like, hide in the corner and eat really quick. So I still did everything. I was just, the closer I got to my show, I was just a little bit tired.
It's got to be hard to go to a club and pick up on a chick that's drinking ice water and has a Tupperware full of chicken.
Yeah.
Like, what do you say? Hey, does this
Nice
fit?
meal prep?
Yeah.
Meal prep often?
Yeah. I mean, that makes it pretty tough to kind of swoop in there.
I think they like ask me why I have water. Why don't you just let loose, have a little bit of fun, and I just have to.
Because I don't want to be roofied? Was that your answer?
Yeah.
So how many shows have you competed in so far?
4.
4, and you did 1 physique and 3 figure?
Yeah.
And you won your pro card at USA's, correct?
Correct.
And that was last year, what month?
July.
July. So now, since July, you've been kind of doing off-season mode, so to speak?
Yeah.
Yeah. And who are you working with now for your nutrition and stuff?
Right now, I am working with Jason Theobald. I started working with him like right before Christmas.
Was that before or after you fired me as your nutrition coach?
I fired you and then started working with him.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
So you got fired as a nutritionist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a nutritionist / boyfriend, I wasn't quite living up to
No.
par.
I'm not gonna lie. I think based on my physique, I'm not really sure why she didn't ask me to do her nutrition.
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty much stage ready.
I'm about 3.5% body fat
You are
right
going
now.
to the Arnold.
Yeah.
Not
Basically.
to do the cage, but to compete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you're looking really lean these days.
I mean,
I saw the tank
I'm retaining a little bit of water right now.
Yeah.
But once that kind of flushes through,
Just a little dandelion root.
Yeah,
I'll be good to go.
Yeah. 10 minutes in the sauna and I'll be fresh. So you fired Tony as your nutritionist. You moved on with Jason.
Yeah.
And how's that been going?
So far I love it. We started off our goal was just to kind of increase my caloric intake because my calories were just so low. So it's kind of trying to fix my metabolism and get me eating a little bit more food, so that way when I go to diet again, I start off with more food.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really great. I want to say we almost doubled my caloric intake, and I've actually lost a couple of pounds.
Wow.
So
do you agree with these tactics that Jason's taken?
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty much doing the same thing, but
she just wasn't following
it. Was too hard.
Right.
No,
yeah.
It was too hard because he was my boyfriend too.
Right.
So if I say, "Hey, babe, I really want to go out to eat," he's gonna want to go with me.
Or, break up with her and just
Sure.
be a nutritionist because
Sure.
I'll probably make more money doing that
Yeah.
than I would as her
So
boyfriend.
you're gonna make money as a nutritionist and you're losing money as the boyfriend.
Right.
But now you're not the nutritionist, just the boyfriend.
Yep. It's a lose-lose.
This doesn't make sense, man.
No.
Doesn't make sense.
No, but I am training her for her powerlifting meet, which
good.
I guess I'm somewhat good at. So, which brings us to our next topic of how does bodybuilding for you differ from actually getting ready for powerlifting and strength sports?
With powerlifting, I didn't really lift heavy. Like I would lift heavy and have fun in my off season. But then as soon as I started prepping, everything had to come down. So like my workouts just got a little bit boring. So I had to start just lifting lighter, doing more reps, doing a lot of cardio, especially for my last show because I had to come down so low with my weight and body fat. So I lost a lot of muscle mass. So now with powerlifting, it's a lot of fun. All of my workouts are like super different because I've never done powerlifting.
You have a good coach, sounds like.
Definitely.
Do you give her like a discount? I mean, you guys are living together, boyfriend, girlfriend, like.
No.
Is there like a discount?
Full price.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I got bills to pay.
Yeah, okay, all right, fair enough.
So do you feel like powerlifting is going to have a good transfer over to when you start doing your prep? Like what has powerlifting taught you that you can carry over into your bodybuilding training?
I think the biggest thing is powerlifting has like taught me to like not, at least at the moment, is not worry too much about what I look like. Like just kind of have fun. So it's like I'm relearning how to have fun with lifting and working out. So hopefully I can carry that over in like when I start to prep and still have fun with it all instead of like seeing it so much as like a job.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like with the powerlifting movements that you're really focusing on technique and performing movements right and not just doing it? You think that'll help you with when you start bodybuilding to do the mind-muscle connection and making sure you're using the right muscles at the right time and stuff, or not really?
No, I think it'll definitely help. I still have a lot of work to do with it and keep practicing, but that will for sure help. And I think definitely with my legs, it'll help.
Yeah.
Out of the big three, what's your favorite lift?
I like them all.
I mean, if you don't say bench, then this is all over with. So, not really sure what the holdup is.
Bench, actually, because I never really benched too much. And if I did, it was just like incline dumbbell presses and a lot of flies. And so I think bench has been the most fun for me, like from the very beginning. till now.
It was kind of new.
Yeah, it was new, and then I was super surprised to see just how strong I was for really never doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bench is probably your best lift right now.
Yeah.
Going into the meet.
You guys are about benching the same, right?
Close.
Pretty close.
Yeah. I felt like we were for a little
I actually
bit.
just saw you posted a video doing triples with 405 and made it look like it was butter. Like, it looked like a warm-up set.
It felt really good.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
It was either the fear of Chris Duffin's stomach right above me, or, you know, the fact that I might actually be getting better that moved the weight a lot.
When I watched the video, you know, like I put it up on the big screen, right? Like, you know, I expanded it, and I was looking for Michael to make sure he wasn't going to have some kind of epic fail on your bench press. Like, accidentally hit a button and the bar falls over or something. And
he actually spotted me for my warm-up set before, and I quickly found Chris
to
do it. And then Kaylie spotted me for the rest of the sets. It's really hard to find a good lift-off person.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, imagine having your feet off the ground and like the lift-off be almost as important as anything else of the lift.
Yeah, I would just put my feet on the ground. I don't know why people don't do that.
Well, I mean, it's to show how manly you are.
Right.
You know, you want to make it as hard as possible.
It's
Not
like a circus trick.
take the take the easy way out and use legs and stuff. It's an arm movement. You know, it's not a leg movement.
It's a man's movement. Yeah. So how's your training going for the Arnold?
It's going awesome. Everything's really, like, I really felt like I upped my volume to up to 8 reps.
Yeah.
And then I asked you about it, like, am I getting at your level yet? And you just basically shot me down. I was like, no, this isn't volume. This is, you know, this is
a
nothing.
warm-up set.
Yeah. But everything's going good. My shoulder, you know, still a little tender. I benched yesterday, worked up to 315 with zero pain. But I didn't have a lift off yesterday, so I just stopped there.
We don't need one with 315.
Well, actually, you know, 315 is actually really hard for me to unrack.
Yeah.
It's really hard for some reason.
But 405's not?
I can't unrack 405 by myself. Like, it's impossible.
Just put your feet on the ground. It helps you with leverage.
They don't reach.
They have blocks. You can build it up.
That's what I should.
Yeah.
I should build some kind of, like, apparatus that my feet go into. Maybe, like, RoboCop legs.
Maybe.
I think that's what I need.
Or you can get, like, wooden platforms that attach to your feet, you know, so then, like, clogs.
Yeah.
That way you can touch the ground.
You have, like, big, like, stilts.
Yeah, exactly.
Man.
I feel like you're putting yourself at an extreme disadvantage trying to just show off with your feet up and stuff.
I could bench way more that way.
Yeah. So that's good to hear. That training's going really well.
And what about you? You got some show coming up in 6 weeks, 7 weeks?
Close. 10 weeks.
10 weeks, yeah, whatever.
But it's at the end of April. Training's going really well, especially with the bench press. I was a little worried about that for a little while. It was going down, and I couldn't figure out why, so I reached out to Casey Williams of Lead
It's too bad you don't know anybody that benches.
No, Casey Williams. That's what I was about to go into.
Okay.
Casey Williams was my first guy. If he would have said no, then I had like 10 other guys before I would have asked you.
Sure, I think that makes sense.
Yeah. So Casey gave me like a little 6-week program to do, pretty much like get away from pause benching altogether and just do some other stuff. And that really worked wonders because that 405 felt the best it's felt in a long time. So I'm excited about that. And then just being able to squat and pull with Chris helping me out with some technique stuff. I think it's going to be a really good meet prep. I'm really excited. So
awesome.
Yeah, the first week of the actual meet prep went really well. So we'll see how this week goes.
Yeah, it definitely when I saw the 405, it looked really good.
Yeah, I was excited.
Really good. So
yeah,
big number coming. I have a feeling you're going to be really close to 500 in a matter of time.
That's been the dream.
Yeah.
Since I was out the womb to bench 500.
Yeah, it's not far off. I don't think.
No. What's sad though is I've probably been benching like 400 since I was 18.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that always eludes you.
Yep.
So,
yeah. No, it's benching is frustrating. You know, it's tough.
Yeah. Good thing you can do the other 2 lifts to kind of get rid of that frustration.
Get your ego back out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I go over and do knee extensions when I need an ego boost.
Yeah.
Because I can almost put the pin all the way down at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the seatbelt on.
Yeah, I put the seatbelt on, then I hold onto the handles and I grunt. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best way to draw attention to
Spit all over the mirror as I'm screaming.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So back to our guest.
Yeah.
So how do you feel, like, in general, the stigma of lifting weights and training with weights and lifting heavy is going to make women more more muscular, more manly, so to speak? Like, why do you think that has come about, and what do you feel about that statement that lifting weights is going to make you more manly?
When I first decided that I like really wanted to work out, I was worried about that, and so I was like a little cardio bunny. I didn't want that to happen. But then when I started lifting and started seeing results, I was really happy, and it was just transforming my body. Definitely not into a man's body.
No.
So, and it just felt almost like I felt very confident and strong, kind of inside and out, like, and almost like empowered me as a woman. That I just was like, all right, I could do this.
Yeah.
And I think it's been getting a lot more popular. Like I've been meeting with some girls at 24, and they actually asked me to show them how to use the free weights. That they're getting bored with cardio. That they want to learn how to lift. So it seems like it's kind of changing, and girls aren't too afraid that they're going to turn into a man.
Yeah.
So cause they tell me that I look great, which is always nice to hear. And I tell them that that's what I do. I lift. So.
It's interesting because, a lot of women that I've specifically dealt with like training, that's typically always their first statement is, I don't want to look like you.
Yeah.
And
bald?
Yeah, basically bald. I think that's what they're referring to.
Yeah.
But I think that's what that idea is that if women start lifting heavy or lifting like free weights, that they're just going to bulk up.
Yeah.
And really, it's completely opposite. I mean, they have to be on a ton of tests and eat 10,000 calories to
right.
Get huge.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that that's kind of the stigma that they have, but it's good to hear that you're able to kind of be a mentor, at least in this area, as far as like helping women, learn how to lift, or at least teach them that it's okay to lift a certain way and not be concerned. You don't have to be on a treadmill for an hour.
Yeah. And I'm just talking to dealing with clients and stuff. I've never once heard a client say that cardio was empowering or gave them more confidence. I've always heard that about when women use weights for the first time, and it gives them that sense of accomplishment. It gives them that sense of empowerment. Like I'm getting stronger. I'm getting better. It's something substantial that you can hold on to, and you can look at and gauge progress. Where getting on the treadmill for 30 minutes, every day, there's not really a lot to that.
No.
There's not a lot going on within you that's gonna help you become a better person while you're on the treadmill. I'm not saying that cardio is bad for you. You definitely need it to get rid of some extra weight, some body fat and stuff like that. But lifting weights can do the same thing if you're training hard, and it can provide you with better results to get to your goals. Because a lot of women, I feel like they go to the cardio because they think that that's the way to lose weight.
Yeah.
In reality, lifting weights is going to be the best way for you to lose weight. Because not only do you burn calories while you're lifting, but you burn those calories while you're resting as well, because your body's trying to repair those muscle tissues that you just damaged. So if you're really trying to lose weight, lifting weights and eating better is going to get you a lot further than cardio will.
Yeah.
So it is good to see younger ladies like yourself, and a lot of the new IFBB pros that are coming out are younger, being able to kind of end that stigma of weights are going to make you look masculine, make you look like a man, things like that. And I think CrossFit plays a good part in that as well. Seeing all the women
using barbells.
Yeah, using barbells and, lifting some weights, and a lot of them look really good for, so it's nice to see that that's kind of where the magazines are going, and that's kind of where, the advertisement is pushing it, because we used to see a lot of magazine covers with, skinny, unmuscular women on it,
where you see like the hip bone and the ribs and
So now you're seeing, a little bit more muscle on these women, which I feel is like a good way that the industry's going. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But magazines still freak me out. And then just because I think girls get this idea in their head that they have to look that way. I think the overall goal should just be to be your best.
Yeah.
So, and then I think like girls are definitely getting more comfortable with lifting weights, but then it still kind of freaks them out. And then they, a lot of times they get very discouraged. They'll like lose the weight, but they still don't look like the girl that they saw in the magazine. So they're like, oh, forget it, I'm just gonna give up. So with my clients, I always just put all the focus on them and like remind them, like, remember when we first started, you couldn't do that, and make sure that they're giving themselves the credit that like they're bettering themselves and they're getting better, and each day they're gonna be at their best versus trying to look like the girls in the magazine.
Coming from a girl in a magazine,
Yeah.
do you go up to them and show them your magazine, be like, look, what's going on? Like, this only took me a couple weeks to
No,
pull off,
not at all.
and you're over here slacking. No.
Never.
Yeah, I think magazines definitely portray this image of perfection.
Yeah.
And you have to understand what you're looking at in these magazines is one, there's a lot of really good lighting, like we were talked about in the last episode. Like, you know, sometimes you get that good lighting and you look a lot better. And you know, photography, they do some Photoshop and stuff just to clean things up a little bit. And these women diet hard for these shoots. It's not like they're looking like this year round, you know. So I think a better example would be to kind of just go around the gym and, you know, look at people that, you know, look the same kind of year round, and, you know, they're not striving for like this image of perfection that they're going for externally, but they're just trying to push themselves on their own journey, you know, to get better inside and out.
Yeah. I think one of the things that is really left out of all of this too is women are dealing with like a lot of hormones, right? And then you have maybe women that have a full-time job and then maybe have kids, and then, you know, like you throw all those things in a mix and then you show them this magazine of, hey, this is what you should look like. And that can be super frustrating. You know, your body completely changes because you have a kid, and, you know, hormones are completely out of whack, and you're just super crazy because you're a woman anyway. So, you know, it makes it really difficult. I mean, that's a huge struggle. A lot of women, I don't think, understand that when you look at a magazine, you see, you know, this perfect blonde or brunette or whatever, the great body, everything that goes into that. You know, they don't have to work full time. You know, they're not working 40 hours a week, coming home, taking care of 2 kids, taking care of their husband, you know, putting everything in line. You know, they have somebody who cooks them dinner. They have somebody that takes care of their kids. You know, maybe they work, but it's not, you know, sitting in an office space for 8 or 10 hours a day, just sitting there. And so there's a lot of challenges for just like the typical, you know, mom or woman that's just trying to lose weight.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why, like I said, it's your own personal journey. You know, magazines are great in the fact that, you know, obviously you can look like that, but that shouldn't be your goal while you're in the gym, right? That should just be something that is there, knowing that, hey, this girl worked really hard to look good for this one magazine shoot, but she probably doesn't look like that year round, you know. But you can't discredit their hard work either for getting ready for all that.
Yeah.
It's just something like you lift weights and you do everything for yourself, right? You don't do anything for anyone else, and you're going to be a lot happier that way, and everything's going to be just a lot less stressful that way. Because, you know, say you do miss a day at the gym because you are going home to make dinner for your family, like, it's not going to be that big of a deal because, you know, you're doing stuff just to help other people out in your household.
Yep.
So you're not too worried about missing days. You're not too stressed out about other stuff, you know?
One of the most challenging things, you know, kind of on the topic of having kids, for me is coming home and trying to eat cleaner, and, you know, the kids want macaroni and cheese or chicken nuggets or, you know, something that I'm not allowed to have. You know how hard it is to make that stuff and smell it and go, man, it'd just be way easier just to eat this. You know, it's tough.
Yeah.
It makes it super challenging for somebody who's got a family to take care of, you know?
Yeah, definitely. You know, which is why it's important to also, you know, have your kids eating healthy as well. Like it's a family thing. You know, if you're trying to do it all by yourself, it's going to be very, very stressful.
Yeah.
You know, you got to bring people, a good support team around you.
You got to talk to Courtney about this. You got to get her on board.
Because you have some people that can eat whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
They just rub it in your face, and you just look at it and get fatter, and it is frustrating for sure. So, do you have any on the topic of like magazines and people you kind of look up to, IFBB pros and stuff like that? Do you have any influences that kind of keep you going, keep you motivated, pushing you to get better? Or is that just kind of all internal? You're just such a badass. You just wake up and piss excellence and go on about your day.
I think the one influence that I had that I really knew about, and the only person that I'd ever look up to see if I could find workouts was Dana Lynn Bailey. She was the only one that I knew. The more I get into bodybuilding, then I'm kind of learning more about girls, but I still don't really know anybody.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of myself to start off. It was just I wanted to give it a shot and try it out. And then I found out that my uncle did bodybuilding, so he kind of helped me out a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I met you.
Wasn't there a lady at your gym that you kind of looked up to a little bit, the way she looked, the way she was training, and you talked to her initially about doing shows and stuff?
Yeah, Jessica Graham. I had seen her in the gym. We had both worked at In Shape in California, and I just thought she looked so awesome. She was doing pull-ups and just making every guy in the gym look bad. She was awesome. So that's when I wanted to try to do a show. So she was originally my first coach, and I actually was going to prep to do bikini, but then when I started lifting, I just didn't have that kind of physique, so I had to go into figure. But yeah, I gotta kind of learn more of the girls. I've talked to a few of the pros. I've talked to Alicia Coates and Hannah Holman. So it's a figure and women's physique pro. More about kind of accepting your off-season body.
Yeah.
So it's kind of refreshing to hear them say that it's just all part of the process. You can't be show ready all of the time. One, because it's just not healthy, and then two, you have to enjoy your life sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, me and Adrian don't really know much about bulking and off-season goals.
I'm show ready all the time.
Yeah, we're just always ready to go. So could you
I woke
kind
up
of
show ready.
elaborate on what you mean by that, like off-season and being okay with it? Because being powerlifters, we're just naturally off-season ready.
For off-season, it's definitely not my favorite part of the year, just because you have extra weight, you can't see the separation, you don't have all of the veins. So for me, seeing myself as lean as I've gotten and then have to kind of look, I don't want to say normal, but kind of normal. I have more curves and everything like that. It's definitely hard for me. So then I just naturally want to cover up and wear baggier clothes, and it's very emotional when I look at myself. So it's kind of nice to talk to a few other pros and hear what they had to say, that you have to learn to love both off season and prep, because it's just part of it. That's where you're gonna put on the size to look better come next time. So
I have kind of a funny story about this. I'm gonna leave her name out, because this is super embarrassing on my end. I went to a powerlifting show, and there was a bodybuilder that was in her off season, and she was quite a bit bulkier. She still looks really good but bulkier. And I took a Instagram video of her squatting because she had an impressive squat, and I posted it, and I got the weight wrong. It was like 10 pounds off. So she came up to me and she said, "Hey, just FYI, it wasn't 351, it was 361." And I said, "Yeah, at least I didn't screw up and say you weighed 198." And she goes, "I weigh 148." And I was like, "No, this is a joke. This is a joke. I'm joking. I know." And it was like the most uncomfortable time of my life. Like, I'm backpedaling the whole time. Like, I apologized to her 2 other times that day. I sent her a Facebook message the next day. Like, I felt really bad because I know how she's feeling. She's probably a little insecure because she's going for her goals. And then, and I'm the dick that comes in there and says some smart ass comment. I felt super bad.
And it's really unlike you, so I don't know
I
what's
know.
going on.
Yeah, I don't know.
So you personally, like, how have you dealt with the self-image issues? Because I see them firsthand with you going through your off season and stuff, and you know, I know some of the stuff that you do that's unhealthy, that creates a little bit more of a image issue for you. But what have you kind of done to cope with that, and what do you feel like still are some of your issues that you're dealing with? Because it's probably going to be a struggle throughout your career as a figure competitor, because it is a sport that has a lot of ups and downs, and it creates a lot of insecurities in people, because you're doing a sport where you're judged based on how you look.
Yeah.
So what are you doing to kind of deal with that, and what do you feel was like the biggest thing to cause it for you?
I think the biggest thing that caused it was, I mean, I definitely love bodybuilding and competing in shows, but I think that's definitely what had caused it. So I don't remember having as many self-image issues before that. Even after my first 3 shows, I was pretty okay afterwards. I was actually a little bit excited about putting on some weight and getting stronger again in the gym. But the coach that I had worked with had actually almost made me feel bad for putting on weight. Even though I still was relatively lean, you could still see the outline of my abs, but he wanted me to weigh 130 or less, and I couldn't unless I stopped lifting. I was eating pretty strict for my off season, so I think that stressed me out. And then after I had earned my pro card, my coach for that show had also did the same thing. She had actually wanted me to step right on stage again in a few months, and I just told her I couldn't do it. And when I had sent her a picture of what I looked like, she just didn't reply. So that was like, oh my gosh, I look awful. So as much as I love bodybuilding, the like post-show rebound has each time has gotten worse and worse. Kind of the better I do and the better I look during prep, I dislike myself more and more come off season. So the way that I've been kind of like dealing with it and coping with it is reaching out to other competitors that I see on Instagram, that I see them looking kind of fluffy, and see kind of how they cope with it. So it's nice to hear what they have to say. And then you've been a big help with it. And then just self-talk. Like, as weird as it sounds, I literally will look in the mirror and tell myself that I'm beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So. I do that every day.
I look at your picture and say that.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit, he's beautiful. I think it's really important to do that visualizing, kind of thinking of yourself. You're doing this for your goals and to try to get somewhere. But I think also reaching out to other people is like, that's a huge deal.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't do that. And I can only, I've never gone through what you've gone through, I don't really ever worry about, if I look fat or if I don't look fat, right? But the best way I can compare it is like getting hurt. My shoulder hurts and I can't bench as much as I want to.
Yeah.
It isn't impressive benching 315 and putting that on Instagram and go, hey, check this out. It's my bench session today, Everybody would laugh at it. And so it's like I can totally understand what you're saying. And I think reaching out to other women and sharing your experiences is what's going to help you and help hopefully other people. That's huge.
Yeah. And just from an outsider's perspective, looking in on you and seeing how you're going through everything, I can say that the biggest difference is finding a coach that actually cares about the client and is there to give a lot of good positive reinforcement and has a good game plan and is always there for you. That's extremely important. And 2, I tell you this all the time, to delete all your old pictures off your phone, because she goes through and compares herself to what she looked like a week out, and she's not even close to trying out to get ready for a show or anything. So you create a lot of image issues when you compare yourself to what you look like, when it's unsustainable to do that year round. So if you can just kind of eliminate all the negative reinforcements that you have in your life and just try to keep everything positive, then you're going to be a lot healthier with your image and stuff. And having a good coach can reassure you. Having an amazing, awesome boyfriend who's a great powerlifting and nutrition coach can do that for you as well.
TMNutrition.com.
.net.
Oh,
No big
.net. Shit! I screwed it up.
But yeah, but you can, I mean, there are ways to go about it. It's just, you know, having a lot of positive people in your life and finding people that have been through it and that can, you know, talk to you about it. I mean, that was the biggest thing. Not that these are even comparable, but that was the biggest thing when I got back from Iraq was like they wanted you to talk to people that have been through it, so you can relate to them and you feel at ease talking to people that have done it, you know. So the more you can surround yourself with like-minded people that are going through the same struggles, the easier it is to open up, you know, so to speak, and talk to them about what your issues are and how they're fixing theirs and how you're fixing yours, and then you grow this, you know, really tight network that you guys can just, you know, relate to and talk to whenever you need to, which is great. I was happy when you started doing that for sure.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good outlet.
So is there anything you want to tell, you know, females, lifters getting into like lifting weights or, you know, anything that you want to talk about?
I think, well, I mean, when it comes to everybody, but definitely with like my female clients or any girls that I talk to in the gym, one of the first things that I do tell them is that they have to love themselves from day one. Like what you look like now, it's you. So you have to love yourself. And I'll admit, I'll tell them, like I deal with it every day. That's why I'm so big, like with it, with my clients. That like this is day one of your journey, and from this point on, it's like there's gonna be ups and downs, but I mean overall, you're just shooting to make yourself better. So whether you're overweight or you're skinny or whatever it is, you have to love yourself, and then love yourself just as you go along in the journey, and then have fun with it. Like don't think of it as like a chore or a job. Definitely have fun with it. Have fun with the workouts, mix it up. So sometimes, like, I'll give my clients workouts to do outside or at the house. I'll put on their schedule for the month, one of the days to like go do an activity with the kids, and then kind of same thing with the food. Have fun with the food as well. So I'll give them grocery lists of like so many different things that they can try. No, definitely not McDonald's. I had one client come in and told me she had McDonald's and she had a stomach ache, and I did not feel bad at all. I said, you know what? I'm sorry if this sounds rude. That is what you get.
So a good variety of food choices, a good variety of exercises, and you know, having a positive outlook from day one.
Yeah.
Think always about progress, not perfection.
Yeah, definitely. I'll tell them to be positive, be patient as well.
Yeah.
So like even me being a personal trainer, knowing that you're not going to see the results tomorrow, I'll still catch myself like, dang, why am I not down a pound? It's been a whole day. So I'll remind them like you're not going to see the results as soon as you want to see them. So you have to be patient and be consistent with it. Like you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Just keep going, and then they all have my number, so I'll tell them if you ever need anything, always text me. I'm there for you. So even though I have my issues, that's why I have you.
Very nice.
It's interesting because I think, do you think any part of like the bodybuilding has kind of, all of that is kind of like a, I don't want to say judgmental, but like when you step on stage, right, it's all based on your appearance that one time, and every single judge could have a different opinion. You know, you could do like 3 or 4 shows or have, you know, 3 or 4 sets of different judges, and you'd be judged differently all the way across the board. And versus doing like other sports where it's either like a score or how much you lift or whatever, you know, that just really like carries on through the rest of, sounds like carries on through the rest of your life as far as like always looking at yourself maybe the way a judge would. Do you feel that way?
A little bit. You don't ever see me. I do it when you're not around, but I'll like almost like do my poses and like think like kind of and judge myself. I'm just be like, I can't see the lines there. Like, but I mean,
I'd pose, but I have such a tough time even tying my shoes.
Yeah.
Like, just, I'm done. That's too much cardio.
Yeah, I think the whole judging aspect does create a lot of insecurities, like you said, because you know, like if there was better criteria for how to judge, then you would kind of have a better gauge. But if you go to one show and the judge says you're not lean enough, and then you get leaner at the next show and the judge says you don't have enough muscle, it's just constant like negative reinforcement.
Yep.
None of it is like, oh, you did really good this show. You have nice shoulders. You have nice, quads. You might need a little bit more work tightening up your midsection, but it's never like that. It's like, nope, you were flat. You didn't come in condition. Work on that next time.
Yeah.
So the whole time going into off season, going into the next prep, all you're thinking about is, oh, I got to tighten up. Oh, I'm behind. I'm running behind. I got to look better. I got to do this. I got to do that. So it always creates a lot of stress and a lot of negative reinforcement. So it's definitely a sport that you have to 100% truly love and not do it because you want the approval of other people telling you look good while you do it. Like, it has to be something that you
really enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I know that if powerlifting ever went to like an appearance judgment, like they judge you on how you looked, I'd be an all-time world record holder again.
Yeah.
Right now.
You'd be an All-American.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, they would put you probably in the Hall of Fame first day.
Oh, yeah.
No questions asked. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. One of the things that's concerning is during this podcast, I happened to glance over at a ladder here, and it says 225-pound limit. You think that's like a recommendation?
It's always a recommendation, like stop signs.
Yeah.
It's just a recommendation of what you should do. It's not necessarily the law.
Like, I'm a little concerned to get on the ladder now.
Well, that's what Courtney's for.
She's not under 225. Don't tell her I said that.
Yeah. Good thing she doesn't listen to the podcast.
Yeah, she hates this shit, so she will never listen to it. She doesn't listen to me talk in the house, so I don't know why she'd listen to this.
True, because I'm on it probably, though.
She probably will watch it secretly. Shit. Zoomed in on just you.
Yeah.
Is there a picture of me in your room?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
We haven't quite
Do you need one?
Yet. Probably.
Okay.
Can you give me an 8x10?
Yeah, of course.
I have a frame.
I have one with a beard or without a beard, so you could pick.
Maybe split screen it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
All right.
Yeah, that way.
A before and after?
Exactly.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So where can people find you on social media and all this other fun stuff that you do?
Instagram is probably the biggest thing for me. So it's KayleeBaby_IFBB Pro.
Can you spell your name?
Kaylie.
There you go. And then you just started a website that you're blogging on?
I did. It's KayleeTrainer.winks and then /
.winks?
Winks,
Yeah.
like winks?
Like
You give out winks to people?
WIX.
Sounds like some type of porn website.
It's like Third World Girls Gone Wild.
Some kind of webcam thing that you're doing
No.
that I don't know about?
But that link is on my Instagram.
Okay. And then that's it? Those are the two social media things that you're doing?
I do have Facebook too. So that's Kaylie Ann. So my first name KayleeAnne IFBB Pro.
Very nice.
No Twitter?
I'm never really on Twitter.
Oh,
I have
man.
one, but that's linked on my website if you want to go. But I don't have any.
It kind of defeats the purpose then if they
I'm
go
working
onto your
on it.
Twitter and there's no
I'm working on it.
things on there.
There's some.
From when?
2011.
No, there's some really old ones, but I've been like, I'll post some, like I'll just like add it when
I'm at the club drinking water.
And then also you guys can find her at newsstands in the new Power magazine with Zahir on the cover. I believe that's who's on it.
He's a hairy ass dude.
Yes.
Man.
Hairy and strong.
He is strong.
Yeah. I like the Jerry curl that he has going on. It's going to be impressive when I see it in person. He's doing the meet that I'm doing, and I don't even know if I'll be able to lift once I see that.
Do you think like you'll go behind him and just tug on it a little bit?
God.
Maybe.
Like, would that be weird?
I wonder if that's like, I don't really want to say anything because I got to see him and,
Sure.
right. Word gets out.
Yeah.
So, Harry's nuts.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, yeah, be careful then.
I think he got kicked out of a country one time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
For flipping off the judges.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they told him not to put chalk on the bench, and he put it on there every time anyways.
Apparently, he'll do whatever he wants.
It's, you know.
He's strong as shit, so.
Yeah. So we'll see who gets to that.
I have a plan on when I bench 600, I'm going to tip the bench over when I walk out.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go up, give it a heave, and then walk up.
You know, it'd be weird, though, if you tried to do it
and I couldn't do it. I know. That'd be embarrassing.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I was just stretching.
Then you just go and just start taking one plate off at a time so you can get it. Yeah, that's.
Oh, maybe I need to rethink this.
Yeah.
That'd be super embarrassing.
You know what you could do when you bench 600? You can have, like, Courtney bring out, like, a championship belt, and then you can stand on the bench and just hold it up like The Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you do the beer thing.
Or just maybe light the weights on fire.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you could rollerblade out to the bench platform and lift with the rollerblades on.
Yeah.
And then rollerblade off.
Oh, my goodness.
And a ring of fire at the end of it.
Right.
I think that would be good for your Instagram following.
Maybe piss on something while I'm up there, too. Like, there's got to be some kind of something up there that happens. You know, it's just not normal.
Yeah. Yeah. We have to start brainstorming.
I'm trying to get my YouTube views up.
The one girl that puked at Rome, I think she got like 5,000 new followers just from that.
Yeah.
So.
And I hate puking, though, so I can't do that. Like, I'm deathly afraid of it.
Yeah.
Deathly afraid of throwing up. I'll hold it in as long as I can.
Ugh, that sounds gross, too. Though.
Yeah. Ugh.
So we have some ideas. Pissing yourself is one thing. Maybe you can take a piss on the bench and then light it on fire after you're done. And then you just walk away and no one else gets the bench.
Right, it's done.
Yeah, that's the end of the meet right there.
Done.
Show's over, guys.
Oh, man.
Well, you can find me at Tony Montgomery Jr. on Instagram and tmnutrition.net and TM Nutrition on YouTube. And that's pretty much the only places I want you guys to find me at.
You find me at Instagram, Larsen Press, and Facebook, Adrian Larsen. And make sure you go check out larsenpress.com. Because Larsen Press is all that matters. You idiots that use leg drivers cheating.
I did Larsen Presses a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
They were fun.
It's named after him.
I knew you told me.
Okay, just making sure
I
you knew
didn't
that.
know. I
it's
did
kind
them
of a big
actually.
deal.
I did them the week before I met you, I think, and they were fun.
Yeah, all she could talk about was how handsome you were after she met you.
Yeah, no, I know. That happens a
Why
lot.
she understands why Larsen Presses are such a big deal.
I get compared to Mark Wahlberg often.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I was thinking Ryan Reynolds a little bit.
Yeah, that too sometimes.
Yeah.
Just depends.
Depends
if I have like a 5 o'clock shadow or not, or if I'm clean shaved, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yep. Awesome.